Hey everyone, this video is for anybody thinking about doing the Great North Run or you're signed up already and you're into your training. I've got some tips for you on the Great North Run which you may find useful. I did it in 2017. Let's take a look at my top 5 tips. Hey everyone, welcome to Fordy Runs. I'm Chris Ford, aka Fordy. 2017 I completed the Great North Run. It's one of the best half marathons that I've done. So if you're signed up for it or thinking about signing up for it, it's going to be fantastic. I really enjoyed it. But I've got sort of top 5 tips for you that I probably picked up during my adventure up to Newcastle, which I wanted to share with you. Number 1 is the preparation. I say whether you're already into the training or thinking about doing it, the preparation is really important for the Great North Run. I mean, any half marathon is important, but with the Great North Run, I would say be prepared for the hills. They're not like this, but there's more hills than you think, and they're sort of gradual up, and then you peak and then you come down. And it can, if you've not done any hill work, because it depends where you live, if you can only do flat runs or whatever, make sure that you put some hill work into your training plan. It is really important. Number 2 is to book your travel and do your arrangements really early. As soon as I found out that I was in the Great North Run, I booked a hotel and I sorted out my trains. The hotels get booked up really fast. And I wanted to get my seat on the train because that was mobbed, so I'm glad I reserved my seats for that. I got a hotel that was next to the main station in Newcastle, which was a really great location. And what I did was I went up on a Saturday and I was able to check out where the start was, and I got used to my environment, to my surroundings. I had a little, because there's loads going on in Newcastle. For the Great North Run, it is really great. There's loads of different things going on, so I just kind of checked that out when I was up there. But I would really recommend you go up if you can and stay there if you can afford it the day before on the Saturday and take it all in. Number 3 on my list is before the race, give yourself plenty of time to get there. I can't remember exactly when it started, but I left with plenty of time. I got up, I did my breakfast routine that I do, but there's so many people to do the race. I think it's like, I don't know, 50, 60,000 people, and you've all got to get to the start line. So give yourself plenty of time. I didn't bother taking the metro or doing any of that other stuff. I mean, if you're going to take the metro, do a preloaded card or get yourself one of the wristbands so you can show it just to get on. But if you're staying where I kind of recommend, right close to the main station, it's actually walkable. It's like, it took me and my brother like 20-25 minutes, I think, which was perfect. The metros are crowded, everybody's trying to get one place, so you're going to be stuck like that, somebody next to you. Personally, I prefer the leisurely pace of just having a walk in the morning up to the start line, which was much suitable for me. Make sure you wear warm clothes. I'm from down south, so I'm a bit of a fairy, so I made sure that I wore a tracksuit and a hoodie and a couple of other bits, and then I put a black sack over the top of me to keep the wind off of me because it was cold. And then what I did was I stripped down, and then actually on the start line you can tie them up and then they come along and give them all to charity. So that's a top tip for you. Make sure that you're warm on the way to race day. Toilet situation, there's plenty of toilets, but also what a little tip for you that my brother-in-law told me was actually where the race is, it's like a motorway, and you go down and then on the either side is a bank and there's trees and everyone just goes in the bushes and weeds. So don't worry about it, don't get stressed about whether you're going to have to wee before you race. There's plenty of places to go to the toilet, it's not very nice, but you've got the option of just jumping in there and having a wee. Next top tip is to start slow. I know you get told this all the time, but it is so important at the Great North Run to start slow. There's so many people, it's ridiculous. So you've got to start slow, to be honest. It's going to take you a while to get to the start line anyway, but you really have to keep in your mind about starting slow. Don't get caught up in it, don't go mental and just go and run a 4 minute 30 kilometre straight out the gates. You're not going to run a PB today in the Great North Run, right? I'm just going to tell you that now, because there's just too many people. Or if you're trying to run a PB, you're just going to kill yourself, because you're going to be weaving in and out of everybody, and everybody's got different abilities, and they're all doing it for different reasons, and most of them are doing it for charity, which is fantastic. But you're not going to be able to run the pace you think you're going to be able to run, because there's just so many people. So relax, sit back, start slow, and then when you get into those hills, they're not going to feel as bad as they probably could do if you'd gone out the gates like a nutter. Just take it easy, enjoy it, and start slow. That is really, really important. The other next tip is probably, the good news is you're getting towards the end. Check out, by the way, online, there's some vlogs people have done the route, so acclimatise yourself with the route. But right at the end, you've got to go up this hill, and then all of a sudden you just see sea, and there's a huge sort of hill down. You do that, and then you turn into the seafront, and it's something you can't explain, because it's like you turn into this like stadium, because everybody's cheering down the side of the seafront. It is superb. I mean, the people of Newcastle, the atmosphere they create and the Great North Run is amazing. As soon as you get down to that seafront, you're there, right? You've got to get from there to the end, and I can't remember how much it was, but it's not that far. You're almost there. So soak up the atmosphere and let the crowd get you over the finish line. Now, I saw the 800 metre mark, and I just sprinted. And make sure that you run through the finish, because what happens is people hit the line and they stop, and then you've got people coming behind you, and all they're doing is banging straight into them. It's a nightmare. So do everybody a favour behind you and run through the finish. It's really important, because it's just so annoying when you're trying to get across the line. There's people literally just stopping it, and they're doing their GPSs, and they're doing their phones, and they're texting, and they're doing everything. Run through the finish. Power through the finish. You've done all the hard work. Enjoy it. Enjoy the emulation that you're crossing the finishing line at the Great North Run, but just run through it. Do your runners behind a favour, and then make your way down to the charity village. That's the best place to meet people, your friends, your family, your loved ones. Get down to the charity. Hopefully you've run for a charity and you've raised money for charity. But go and meet them in the charity tents, because it's away from the main hustle and bustle of everything. There's a queue for to take the pictures and stuff, but just filter your way down to the charity village. There's a lot going on down there, and you can meet your friends and family there. And then that probably leads me on to the next tip. I jumped on the bus to get back to Newcastle. It was the best thing I ever did, because the queues for the metro were insane. Everybody's walking to the metro. Don't forget, like I say, there's like 50, 60,000 people, whatever it is, all trying to go to the metro. So there's buses. As you come out, there's like loads of buses there, and we just jumped on one, me and my brother, and it was superb. The atmosphere on the bus was wicked. Everyone was chatting. I wouldn't say it was a party bus, but it was a good laugh, and it got us back into town in plenty of time. And so yeah, I would really, really recommend you jumping on the bus. I think that's more than 5 actually. 5 tips. I've probably done about 6 or 7, but they're probably my key tips for the Great North Run. As I said, it is probably the best half marathon out there. It's definitely the best one I've ever done. The atmosphere is unbelievable. I'm hoping that the London Marathon is just as good, if not better. They do say it is phenomenal. But the Great North Run, you're going to love it. Soak it up, enjoy it, enjoy the people playing the music, enjoy the people cheering your name. But just don't expect to run a PB, because there's so many people. It is just madness. But you're there to enjoy it. Hopefully you're raising some money for charity. But yeah, they're my top tips for the Great North Run. I hope you find it useful. If you're in training for it, good luck. I hope you enjoy it. If you're thinking about it, doing it, definitely do it. You're going to love it. But just take some of my advice, and I say it might be useful. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. If you've got any comments, stick them below. And yeah, I hope you enjoy the videos, and keep running.